You have some experience in education. What do you think the city could be doing to improve its partnerships with CPS and other schools in the area?
And you have 60 seconds, Vanessa.
Okay, that is a great question. And I think that one of the things we talked about how we want to incentivize businesses to move into our community. But a very important thing that I think that City Council can do is as we incentivize those businesses, we also need to incentivize them to provide meaningful internships for every child in this community. When we talk about our child poverty rate and our high poverty rate, there are 56,000 children in the city of Cincinnati, K through 12 education. That doesn't even take into consideration the kids that are in preschool. There are a lot of children, and we have to be thinking. I am all about the preschool promise as well, but we don't have 20 years to wait. We need to make sure that our hardest to employ residents are being taken into consideration, and so I think we need to be making sure that we use our leverage in our governance role and our leverage to make sure that those companies are also thinking about putting our young people to work in the future.
Okay, Carolyn, your question for Vanessa?
Vanessa, many candidates, perhaps all candidates, are talking about creating jobs as a priority. What exactly can City Council do to create and maintain jobs? What would you suggest? Be very specific, please.
So we need to make sure we're educated about where the jobs are. I think that's the first thing. And a major bucket of those jobs are in manufacturing. And so last week I put out a video that talked about how we need to create business-friendly policies to employ our hardest to work residents in this community. And Nehemiah Manufacturing was one of the businesses that I highlighted in that video. There's also manufacturing that is moving up Paddock Road, and so I think we need to make sure that we have a balance of incentives that we're giving out, not just the pure romance, that's great, but their job market targets 65,000 folks who targeted for $65,000, done Humvee six-figure jobs. So I hear a lot of talk about how we want to attract businesses that pay high salaries to our employees, but we have to make sure we're looking at who our residents are, where they need the starting point to be, and make sure we're incentivizing those businesses as well that are going to put our hardest to employ workers back to work.
Kevin Osborne, your question for Vanessa White.
Sure. You spoke earlier about the lack of openness and transparency at City Hall prompting so many referendums. If you were elected, what rule changes or process changes would you enact to increase transparency?
One of these I heard talked about, which I had no idea, I think it's amazing, is that the lack of discourse between council folks is that they get 3 minutes to talk, and then it comes back around and you get 3 minutes to talk, and then it comes back and you give the citizens 2 minutes to talk. At the board, we at least give them 3 minutes to talk, and in my tenure on the board, one of the things that we have done is to make sure that, because none of us liked it, especially me, because I believe in that as a value that we should be engaging our community because that's who we serve. And we actually can talk back, and we also assign a staff person and administrator that can specifically deal with their question that night so that you don't leave without the information that you came for. I think there's so much energy in our neighborhoods. There's so many people who care about this city, and I think that we get a lot further if people felt that they were engaged and a part of the governmental process.
Vanessa, you have 60 seconds.
I know, so much I could say on this area, but today I have 5 children, so I could upstage Lori Quinlivan with having 5 children. And today I had, wait, you're taking my time. And today I had 30 young people over my house today working on our campaign, and they are a diverse group of young people. I grew up in the neighborhood of Bond Hill back in the 70s, I guess, I am so encouraged and by looking at these young people and seeing how they don't see the world the way we've seen the world. We've seen the indicator in our community. We put this indicator out, the chamber is talking about intergroup relations, and they are not good. And we know this, and we continue to not put strategies in place to deal with that. But I grew up in Bond Hill when it was diverse, went to Walnut Hills, it was diverse. And I believe that we need to look at a multi-pronged approach. One of it is having a culture of inclusivity in terms of bringing people together from around our neighborhoods and creating those opportunities. The other is in our housing strategies and the mixed income housing strategy. And I held a forum last week to deal with that. And so I think we
And
need to get
that
real to deal with mixed income housing strategies. And I think we need to get real with that. If people aren't living
Is your
together,
time.
I'm sorry.
That is
We
your
gotta learn
time.
to live together.
Okay, I agree. Okay, now closing statements, candidates. You each get 30 seconds. Vanessa, we'll keep it with you. Your 30-second closing statement.
Again, I'm a mother of 5. I have 2 adult children that I'm raising. My oldest daughter is experiencing some of the challenges that we know about. She has a job offer in Kenwood Mall. She doesn't have the transportation to get there because she would have to go downtown. She can't get back to her 18-month-old baby from daycare. And I'm also I spent 15 years in child welfare, and the last few years of my job in nonprofit management as the director of community engagement at the Fine Arts Fund, now ArtsWave. So I understand the conditions that are going on in our community, and I believe that I would make an excellent city council candidate. Vote Vanessa White.
Okay. All right.